Tom Hanks gave us, volumes of material to make sure that we were telling the truth, because we owed it to these guys. Tom came into boot camp, flew into boot camp with Stephen, and said, and at the time we were all like, what the heck did we get ourselves into? We were actors, and we were just doing this crazy boot camp that was really, I really enjoyed it actually, but it was pretty nuts. And after a couple of days, Tom gave this impassioned speech about what these guys went through, how they were in Bastogne and how they had nothing, and for 60 days they had nothing. And for us, we're pretty pampered as actors, and we had damn well better tell the truth and work hard to do it, and if we don't, we'll regret it for the rest of our lives. And because of that speech, we all really dug down deep, and we pretty much stayed in our characters for the year, and it showed. That's why I think Band of Brothers is the greatest miniseries of all time. And to be part of something like that, my son will see that, or my daughter will see that, or their kids will see it. It'll always be something that I can always be proud to say I was part of Band of Brothers and I played Buck Compton.
Did you realize that you have an uncanny resemblance to Buck?
Yeah, it's funny. And when I got the part, where I lived was 2 blocks away from where Buck grew up. And it was really, really funny. And yeah, we looked a lot alike. I played college baseball. He played college baseball. The same kind of big kind of guy. And yeah, it was really pretty fantastic. And Don Malarkey always makes a joke. Neal, damn it, you should have played me. You're a lot better looking than Buck. And Buck always gets a good laugh out of it. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. So it's just been fantastic, really fantastic.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background in collegiate baseball?
Yeah, I played at Syracuse University and had a lot of fun doing it. And I was lucky that when I came out to Hollywood, they were doing baseball things. My first TV movie was The Babe Ruth Story. I played Lou Gehrig, and then I did Budweiser commercials, or Quantum Leap. I played a baseball player, and then I'd play a football player, and then a different kind of athlete, and then finally they'd start to give me roles that weren't athletic, and then I started to carve my own niche. But I think my niche was really carved when I got to play Buck Compton, and there I am in the last episode, as a catcher, doing what I do, and it was great. And we pretty much finished the shoot, and we had that baseball sequence, and it was either I do the baseball sequence or I was going to go back to the States. And they said, well, we need you for the baseball sequence because Buck did come back. And I'm like, great, I don't mind going to Switzerland for a week and just play baseball. It was probably the most I've ever been paid to play baseball since I never went professional. So I had a great time.
Did you know that Buck is inducted in the UCLA Baseball Hall of Fame?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. A few weeks ago, he had a big ceremony there at UCLA, which I was sad enough to say I couldn't make it. I was still in Thailand filming, but I just got back, and now here we are. And like I've always said, and like I'll always say, if there's something for Buck Compton, you bet I'll be there. So anything for Buck, and it would have been nice to be there that day for baseball, being that we both love baseball so much, and we both love our Bruins so much.
Sharing about the parallels between Buck Compton's actual career and the roles you played afterwards, could you review that with us?
Well, it was funny because after playing Buck, college baseball, and then after that he was a police officer, and after that I became a police officer. My next role was a police officer in Minority Report, and then after that he became assistant DA. My next role after that was to play an assistant DA of Los Angeles, like Buck was in the TV show Boomtown. So it's really funny how literally Buck's career and my career have really kind of been so intertwined and so familiar and similar in the same way. So it's fate, no question about it.
You have yet to play the role of a judge.
I have not played the judge yet. Buck said, give it some time. You're still kind of young. Wait till you get into your 50s and 60s, and I'm sure you'll be playing a judge quite a few times. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I look forward to that at some point. Right now, I'm very happy being 42 years old and playing whatever they ask me to play.
Can you tell us about your experience in Minority Report? I understand they shot some sequences at UCLA. Were you part of that?
I wasn't at the UCLA sequence, but it was just fantastic. It was we had just we were actually at the Golden Globe Awards, and I met Stephen briefly during the filming of Band of Brothers, and he saw me there and he came up to me and he said, I thought you were great in the show. how'd you like to play Tom Cruise's best friend in Minority Report? And I was with, at that time, my girlfriend, Reve, and I was holding her hand, and I thought I literally broke every bone in her head because I squeezed it so hard. Because I'm trying to be cool to Steven. Oh, sure, yeah, what the heck, I'll do it. Meanwhile, inside me, I was jumping up and down for joy because it was, for Steven to give me Band of Brothers to start with was, the greatest. But then to give me Minority Report after that, and to travel all over the world with Reve and be part of that kind of film it was fantastic.
Quite a few people in Japan recognize you, and it all began with Band of Brothers because it's available on DVD and also at video rental shops in Japan.
That's right.
And could you tell us if people have told you that you play a perfect role as a World War II hero?
Yeah,
John Wayne type.
Yeah, as Reve said, I have a head for helmets. So yeah, I love playing. My father was in the military; he was in the army in the '50s. So and he just came over from Ireland and went straight to the army office and said, "Make me an American," and they shipped him overseas for 5 years. And that's the dedication that people of that era made. People nowadays, the dedication is a little different. We tend to gravitate towards more just making money in our lives instead of making a life of our lives. And having the opportunity to play Buck, it reminded me so much of my own dad because that's what he did. He always did the right thing, and as his life went on, he always did the right thing for his family. And to be able to emulate what he did and what Buck did, what Buck does for his daughters and what my dad does for for his kids, for us, it's fantastic. So those were life lessons that hopefully are stuck inside my brain. And if I don't do it right, if my dad doesn't kick my butt, I know Buck will be right there behind him doing it. The amazing thing is, here's a book about Buck, and the foreword of this is written by John McCain, and the preamble is written by myself. And to be associated with those two guys, these two amazing heroes, is I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am as an American to be able to be in the same breath as these guys. This is great. I would do anything in the world for Buck Compton. Didn't I just say that a minute ago? It's the truth. It was an absolute honor to portray him in Band of Brothers, and that's an understatement. Buck never likes being called a hero, but that's what he is to me. Not only did he serve his country well in the war, but he went to do exemplary things in life. When you consider the scope of what he's done, college sports star, paratrooper, detective, attorney, judge, if a person has one of these things, you'd say it's accomplishment. Buck has done them all. Personally, I owe a lot to Buck. Portraying him marked my break as an actor. Also, I would never have met my wife, Reve Robertson, whom I have two wonderful children, Morgan and Catherine. If it hadn't been for Buck, my life, it wouldn't have met them if it hadn't been for Buck. My life is exceedingly blessed today, and Buck has played a large role in that. And it's the truth. It's quite an honor to be able to be in a story like Band of Brothers, but it's another thing to get to play Buck.
Thank you very much, Neal McDonough.
Thank you very much.